Topping today's news, a female shot and killed and 2 others injured in the Coconut Grove community on Wednesday. The police capture one of the suspects wanted for murder. The government apologizes for the vexing hiccups at the Department of Inland Revenue, and Bahamas Air Boeing 737 now authorized to fly to the United States. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News, and it is a pleasure to have you join us. As the government and police wrestle with new crime-fighting strategies, the carnage continues on the streets. Police are actively investigating a shooting incident that occurred shortly after 7 p.m. on Wednesday evening, leaving 2 adults injured and another adult female deceased. Police say the victims were socializing while standing outside a local bar on Ragged Island Street when the occupants of a blue Japanese vehicle approached and opened fire towards the group, resulting in a male and 2 females being shot. A 39-year-old female who sustained multiple gunshot wounds succumbed to her injuries on scene. Emergency medical services transported the second victim, a 40-year-old female, to the hospital after she sustained a gunshot wound to her right leg. The third victim, a 36-year-old male, was taken to the hospital by a private vehicle after he sustained a gunshot wound to his left forearm. Both victims are currently receiving medical attention and they are in stable condition. Police say the deceased female was recently questioned by police detectives in relation to a recent murder. Police are appealing to members of the public who may have any information as it pertains to this incident to contact them at 911-919. You can call the Criminal Investigations Department, that's CID, or you can remain anonymous and call Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, 328-8477. Amidst the ongoing crime crisis with the homicide count totaling 20 for the year, Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernandez says police operations are excelling at identifying and securing hotspots and disrupting prolific offenders as well as gangs. In his briefing this week at the police headquarters, Commissioner Fernandez revealed that the police Operation Ceasefire and Saturation patrols are currently helping to increase firearm seizures.
The Bahamian people would have seen a number of vehicles out there in the various communities. This assists greatly in bringing the fear of crime down, which is very high at this time, but the consistency of presence within our communities and targeting the drug peddlers, individuals who fire in shots every other night to try and to disrupt them, and a number of stop and searches, and we've been yielding some excellent results with searches, finding drugs, and also firearms as we move. So far for the year, officers across the board, 26 pistols, 4 rifles, and 3 shotguns, a total of 33 weapons taken off our streets, 5,562 assortment of rounds that were recovered from off our streets.
Commissioner Fernandez detailed an operation that occurred in the Baintown community on Monday night and says that the police are intensively tracking gang activity to stop reoffenders and the spread of illegal firearms.
Officers received information, went into Baintown area. There was a group of young boys between the ages of 17 and 25 gathered in a yard, a hotspot area. When officers arrived, everybody started scrambling. They arrested and found 3 weapons loaded. 3 weapons loaded. And when we talk about the gang and the signs and all of that, everybody has tattoos. Everybody is wearing the name brand t-shirt, Hill figure.
Commissioner Fernandez gave a brief overview of the homicides for the year, noting that not only are many of the murders gang-related, but some are also caused by personal conflicts. The Royal Bahamas Police Force announced today that with the help of the community, they have captured wanted suspect 27-year-old Tevin Johnson of Fox Hill. He's pictured here. He was wanted by police for questioning in connection with a murder. Police issued a wanted poster for Johnson approximately 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, police are still looking for 26-year-old Malik Roll of Lightbourne Avenue, Yellow Elder, in connection to murder. They are also wanting 18-year-old Alex O'Vilma of Joe Farrington Road and 38-year-old Charles Tony Fitzgerald, aka CT, of Limewood Lane. Both of those gentlemen wanted for murder as well. Additionally, today, the police released a wanted poster for 26-year-old Shannon Wade Roll. He's pictured here, wanted for questioning in connection to rape. Police say Roll has a last known address of Bamboo Boulevard, that's in Pinewood Gardens. If you know the whereabouts of any of these individuals, you can contact the police. Once again, 911, 919. You can call Crime Stoppers. They are in Miami at 328-TIPS, 328-8477. You can remain anonymous. Also, again, police are reminding you that harboring a wanted suspect is an offense that can land you before the courts and ultimately in jail. Meanwhile, on another sad note, police are also investigating a serious traffic mishap involving one of their own. They say the incident occurred on the Milo Butler Highway shortly after 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Reports are that the officer was engaged in a traffic stop when he was struck by another passing vehicle, which resulted in him being seriously injured on impact. At last reports around 4:18 p.m. this afternoon, Police Public Relations Department informing us that the officer has been stabilized but remains in serious condition. And finally, in this segment, during debate in the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Adrian White, the opposition member of Parliament for St. Anne's, questioned the government about concerns at the Inland Revenue Department regarding the new online tax payment portal that has encountered challenges and frustrated business owners and others trying to pay their value-added tax, VAT, and make other transactions before the deadlines so they can avoid fines. Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Finance, Spain and Grantstown member Wade Watson sought to bring the Bahamian people up to date with respects to what is going on with that payment portal at Inland Revenue.
What the vendor attempted to do was to revert back to a prior release so that the resources necessary for the application to run appropriately and would run effectively on the network. That presented a challenge. We are now in the process of speaking directly with the vendor to see how quickly we can mitigate some of the challenges. We have also sought to relinquish some of the resources used by other applications on the network. That is being done as we speak. And we're hoping that, Mr. Deputy, that as a result of that, we will be able to free up some of the resources and make those resources available to the Department of Inland Revenue's application so that that application can run a little bit more smoothly.
Mr. Watson apologized to the Bahamian people and to all businesses trying to interact with the Department of Inland Revenue.
I do want to apologize to the Bahamian people and to all of the businesses who are trying to interact with the Department of Inland Revenue, and we ask them to bear with us, as we continue to improve the network and as we continue to improve the application. But as soon as those resources are made available, Mr. Deputy, we should see an improvement in the performance on the Department of Inland Revenue's network.
Meanwhile, Mr. White was not forgiving of the explanation provided and chastised the government for not issuing a notice or extension for businesses to pay their taxes while the portal experiences issues. He called on the Financial Secretary, Simon Wilson, to resolve the issue at Inland Revenue. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.